everyone, my name is Adriel Smith, and the project that I conducted was a study on iReady Teacher Toolbox for kindergarten students. I picked this topic because as I acquire more knowledge as a kindergarten teacher, I realize how beneficial the usage of iReady Teacher Toolbox can be towards students. Researchers were interested in the effects of using iReady Teacher Toolbox during kindergarten teachers' daily instruction to increase students' iReady diagnostic scores. iReady is a comprehensive assessment and instruction program that engages students learning through personalized lessons. iReady allows students to learn at their own pace while also working on their weakest subject areas. iReady is a complete curriculum that helps teachers with individualized lessons that they might not always be able to get to working one-on-one with their students. iReady has their own teacher toolbox that consists of lessons that educators can use during their everyday curriculum. Researchers believe that if kindergarten teachers incorporated the iReady Teacher Toolbox during their instructional learning, students will have higher test scores on their diagnostic. To start, we're going to talk about the iReady program. iReady Diagnostic and Instructions help students make significant progress in their learning. It combines a valid and reliable measure and personalized instructions into a single online product. This is great in the aspect that all the curriculum and instruction is from one platform and covers all the materials needed that students need to learn. The adaptive diagnostic focuses on needed skills to the sub-skill level and generates a combination of online instruction and downloadable teacher-led lessons that are unique to each student's diagnostic result. In addition to providing targeted skilled instruction through mobile apps, these individualized instruction plans are easy to understand. iReady is a great tool that will enhance students' learning from personalized instruction to teacher-led instruction. Next, we're going to talk about kindergarten reading. There are many studies on numerical data for kindergarten reading levels, but not that much focus on teachers teaching the reading curriculum. Researchers studied the perceptions of teaching reading to kindergarten students. Kindergarten teachers from Northern and Southern California were surveyed. Teachers reported that there was less time for traditional kindergarten activities and subject area instruction, both of which promote language development. Participants that believe that studies with advanced language skills at the beginning of kindergarten became fluent readers. Some students were underdeveloped language, found learning to read frustrating and confusing. Other students with underdeveloped language may have grasped the decoding aspect of reading, but we are lacking in comprehension. This study shows that reading curriculum plays an important role in students' learning. Using a tool that is fun and engaging to learn will help promote students' academic levels. This study was conducted by Costin and Lane in 2021. The next thing I want to touch on is interactive reading. Inferencing abilities are crucial to development of reading comprehension. McCoy and Morin in 2020 were interested in how using interactive reading in a kindergarten setting impacts students' learning. The aim of the study was to measure the efficiency of an interactive book reading intervention targeting inferencing abilities delivered by a school-based speech pathologist in whole language kindergarten classes. The results show that using an interactive reading in kindergarten setting is an effective way for students to learn. iReady Teacher Toolbox has an interactive reading lessons that can help promote students' learning. Therefore, Teacher Toolbox will be beneficial to students' learning. In addition to interactive reading, the next thing I want to touch on is standardized tests. According to IME in 2017, there are many studies that prove that the use of standardized tests in kindergarten can have an impact on reading instruction in many ways. Studies have shown that administering standardized tests in kindergarten is associated with increasing reading instruction time. This increase in reading instruction time has been shown to be devoted primarily to test preparation. That is, teaching to the test with deconstructionalized instruction. Not surprisingly, research has indicated that increased reading instruction time is associated with greater gains in reading achievement. Using the iReady Teacher Toolbox will allow teachers to not have to focus on reading test preparation, but instead utilize curriculum that may appear on their standardized tests during their reading diagnostic. The last aspect that I want to touch on is a digital generation. A veterinarian in 2019 conducted a study to explore how connected learning supports children to connect their formal learning with their media tools. The results show that children are more tech savvy than prior generations. Children can grasp concepts through technology. Children were able to actively name, classify, and categorize questions using a digital platform. This study can give us a better insight to how using digital platforms are taking over students' learning. Students are now provided with different personalized instruction programs like iReady that play a vital role in students' learning. Even though there are plenty great opportunities for the iReady program to succeed, there is still also some disadvantages. The iReady program is a cost-effective program. Many low-income areas are not able to provide students with the program for their learning. Some schools might direct their funding to other resources or upkeeping of their school before they can pay for the iReady software. Also, iReady starts in kindergarten. iReady does not have intervention tools for students with disabilities and need direct guidance. Even though iReady is an amazing program, it can improve with enhancing these features in the future years to come. This review provides knowledge on how iReady Teacher Toolbox can be a beneficial tool for teachers to use in their classroom. Research has shown that reading is the foundation of education. Providing students with new learning tools and practices can help increase students' advancement in their daily learning as well as test scores. Based on the research that has been done, there needs to be more research done on how iReady is more beneficial for students' learning compared to other programs. Further research should explore how iReady has an important impact on students' learning. Researchers created a research study to test if the iReady Teacher Toolbox during daily instruction increases students' test scores. Students are defined as kids between the age 5 and 6. Our study consisted of 150 participants between the ages 5 and 6. Our study also consisted of 6 highly qualified teachers who have been teaching for 4 or more years. Researchers are using the type of daily instruction as their independent variable and the score they got on their kindergarten diagnostic as their dependent variable. The hypothesis of the study is that participants who have a teacher teaching with the iReady Teacher Toolbox will score higher than those participants whose students do not use the iReady Teacher Toolbox. Researchers are interested in how incorporating the iReady Teacher Toolbox curriculum and lesson plans can increase my kindergarten students' academic growth on their middle of the year diagnostic. The purpose of the study is to examine the beginning and middle of the year iReady reading diagnostic scores to see if teachers who are using the iReady Teacher Toolbox have higher academic growth than students who do not use the iReady Teacher Toolbox in their everyday lessons. The research question that I want to propose is how can I use the iReady Teacher Toolbox in my kindergarten reading curriculum to increase my students' academic growth as measured by iReady reading diagnostic scores at Somerset Central, Miramar. The methodology is that researchers were interested in conducting a quantitative research study to test if using the iReady Teacher Toolbox in Somerset Central Miramar kindergarten students will have a higher middle-of-the-year diagnostic growth than Somerset Central Miramar kindergarten students whose teachers do not use the iReady Teacher Toolbox in their everyday lessons. My hypothesis is that participants whose teachers are using the iReady Teacher Toolbox in their everyday curriculum will have higher middle-of-the-year diagnostic scores than students who do not use the iReady Toolbox function. The participants in the study include 150 kindergarten students, also 6 highly qualified kindergarten teachers. If participants agreed to partake in the study, they were broken into 6 classroom groups. 3 of the classroom's teachers will use the iReady Teacher Toolbox, while the other 3 will continue to use the Journeys Readers program. Participants will also take the iReady Kindergarten Reading Diagnostic at the beginning of the year. Participants who consented to take the exam will take the proctored exam online with a proctor watching them. Participants are not allowed to have any assistance as well as no materials to use while taking this test portion. In the middle of the year, the same participants will take the middle of the year iReady Reading Diagnostic, and we will be able to evaluate if the iReady Teacher Toolbox has an impact on students' learning. To do this study, in the first part, participants were broken into 6 groups of a class 5 of 25 students. Next, students took the beginning of the year reading diagnostic. The main independent variable will be the 3 teachers using the iReady Teacher Toolbox during their everyday lessons and the teachers who do not use it. The belief is that participants who have a teacher using the iReady Teacher Toolbox during their daily instruction will have a higher middle of the year reading diagnostic test scores. In the middle of the year, students were given the same reading diagnostic test with teaching style as the independent variable and the scores students got on their diagnostic as the dependent variable. Researchers will compare their data using a two-way ANOVA test using the SPSS software to calculate the results using statistical data. Individuals who volunteer to partake in the quasi-experiment study being conducted for research purposes will have to agree to participate with a consent form, and they were also given the opportunity to withdraw from the study at any time they did not feel comfortable. To conclude, every participant was debriefed. That is my research project on the iReady curriculum teacher toolbox for kindergarten students.